Good afternoon. Hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? We're just going to wait 1 minute to let folks hop on, and then we're going to get started with our webinar. Hello, hello. I see a few folks have joined us. Let's just give it 1 more minute. We'll give it till 1:02. I hope everybody's having a good day. I know some of you have gotten some snow, so you lucky ducks, I hope you're enjoying it, or if you're not enjoying it, I hope it melts soon for you. We didn't get anything to speak of here in Kernersville, North Carolina. So, needless to say, the kids were disappointed not to have a snow day. Welcome, welcome, everybody. We've got quite a few folks joining on now. If you have any issues hearing us or seeing the slides, please go ahead and let us know in the chat if there's any issues. We have our staff, Sarah and Jen, on standby, ready to help us. Okay, it's 1:02, so we are going to get started. So welcome everybody. Thank you so much for registering for Recycling Day at the Statehouse in South Carolina. We have a great event planned for you and are so looking forward to seeing everybody, and hoping the weather is our friend for this event so we can all make it. Thank you all so much. So this is a webinar to kind of help us prepare for the day. There are a few things that we need to do ahead of time and some things we need to know. So that's why we're meeting with this. We are recording this, and so you will be able to watch it back if needed. We're also going to send out the slideshow and other resources discussed. So don't worry if you missed something. We will do Q&A at the end of the presentation, so I'm going to hold all questions to the end. So just put them in the chat and we will definitely get to them at the end. I'd like to thank our organization sponsors, without whom this and other events would not be possible. And I would like to take a special moment to thank our Recycling Day sponsors, which make an additional investment in the event. And it really says a lot about these companies to invest in the event and the relationships and the efforts that we are making to improve things in South Carolina and to maintain what we have. So thank you for your partnership and for your support. So this is our Know Before We Go overview. Today we'll talk about what is Recycling Day, our agenda, and finding your legislators and logistics and Q&A. Recycling Day is really our opportunity to build relationships with elected officials, and so we need you there to be able to do that. It's a chance to talk about our business and how we drive job growth in South Carolina. We do need to prepare our lawmakers for decisions or issues that may come up, and they need to know who they can ask when decisions and laws do come up that they want more information about or are not sure about. And lastly, they really want to hear from our South Carolina businesses. They do have, quite a lot of competing interests and voices at the table, but at the same time, they really like to hear from their constituents and others in the state. So our agenda this year is a little different from last year. We were able to incorporate some time at the Statehouse this year, thanks to kind of some restrictions lifting with visitors and some things, quote unquote, going back to to normal, to the way it used to be, of being able to go and be recognized in the gallery at the Statehouse. And so from 9:30 to 10, we are going to meet and check in together at the Statehouse in the lobby. And our staff will be there to check you in, give you your name badge, and information that we're going to provide to you there. So we really need you to pre-register for this. And if you noticed, there was an opt-in for this on registration. So if you did not opt into it and you've changed your mind and want to participate in this part, let us know and we can make that change for you so that you will be pre-registered. We really need to know how many folks to expect because we don't want anyone left behind and that kind of thing. So please do that. So we will meet at from about 9:30 to 10, and at 10 o'clock we're actually going to go into the gallery over the floor of the Statehouse where sessions will be taking place and be recognized as the recycling industry, and one or more members will be involved in that, members of the legislature, to read some pre-prepared speech, if you will, to recognize us. And so, and that'll be the House chamber. So that'll be really fun. That is a seated area, so you will be able to sit down there and look out over the state legislature as they are in session. So once we complete that, around 11:30, we will go and do a photo op in the Statehouse lobby together. And that is just such a nice thing to have for our organization to show that we were there, and it's a beautiful location. So great photo op. And then after we complete that, we're going to head to the lobby, down to the lobby, and do facilitated visits with representatives and senators. And this will be a long time of standing, so just be prepared for that. If you there may be some scattered seating here and there, but it may be difficult to find a seat. So if you have back problems like me, you want to be prepared for that. So how is this all going to work when we're there? Since this is a little different, I wanted to go over it. If you're attending this early morning visit and have pre-registered, then we will have staff and volunteers there to assist with these on-site meetings. However, ideally, which we're going to go over a little bit further down in the presentation, you'll have reached out to your members of the legislature, both your representatives and senators, ahead of time. Let them know you're visiting, so they'll kind of be expecting it. And I want you to come prepared with your local information. So, your business name, the district or location of the business. I think that's important to share with the lawmakers so they know kind of where generally in the district that's located. And maybe some markers to help them identify where that might be and visualize it. And any personal business data you want to share about your business or service or organization that you would like to share, the number of employees, the product or service, economic impact, anything like that. I encourage you to not bring too much. One piece of paper should be sufficient for this part. Even a business card, would be a good addition. Our helpers will be there to assist with communications. When we are there in the lobby, we will basically be sending messages to our legislators, and our aides will assist us with this. So they will either be communicated with a written message, with a written message or an electronic message, which I'm going to show you in the next slide how we do that. And what this will look like is, if they can, they will come on out for a brief few minutes and meet with you. And so you're not going to have very long to talk to them at this point. So definitely be prepared for a quick introduction. And of course, we can't guarantee that you'll be able to see them because their schedule is very unpredictable. And so I want to set the proper expectation. This is why we do the reception after hours, because it really increases our chances of talking to the people we want to talk to. Again, a long period of standing, and just come with that frame of mind to just marvel at seeing the process unfold before you, and be in wonderment of your legislative branch in action. This is the website where you can. Now, this is interesting. You message your legislator from this website while we're there in person, on your phone or on a tablet that we have, or a laptop that we will have. You message your legislator there, and this is their new kind of way of getting the visitors kind of messages to the lawmakers quickly. So you will go down here where it says, where it's circled in blue, contact your legislator, and choose that legislator that you want to contact, and you shoot them a quick message, and it will say, hey, I'm in the lobby, I'd love to meet you, can you come out? And that's how they want us to do it. So I have this website further on in the presentation where you can use it, and of course we will have it a QR code available for you on the day of, that you can use on your phone to do this mobily. So that's kind of different. So that was part one of the agenda. So part two is kind of what you could say we normally do. So this is our program portion, and this will be at the Palmetto Club ballroom, which is right across the street from the Statehouse. From 12 to 2, we'll have booths set up for our vendors, so we'll go over that in a minute. From 2 to 3, we will have check-in and networking together with attendees. Our program will start at 3 o'clock, and we will have several presentations included. We'll have South Carolina Commerce talking to us about their impact numbers, and we will then have a portion that goes over mobile apps and digital tools for our industry, and feature Morgan Crafts, Cole, and Myra to talk about the apps that they have recently developed and published. And so we're super excited about that. Another great feature is these folks that are talking about the apps will have exhibitor booths during the reception. So you'll be able to tinker and ask them questions about the apps. So there will be follow-up from this portion with them. Then we'll go into our 4 o'clock moderated panel, which Lieutenant Governor Pamela Yvette will moderate for us, and we're very excited to have her. So we have 4 speakers as part of this panel as well that you can see here. And then from 5 to 7 will be the networking reception. And this is what the invite looks like for the legislators. So just talking about what advanced preparations we've done or will do ahead. This is an official event on the legislative event calendar. So this is on their published calendar and has been for quite some time. In addition to that, all the members will receive an invitation via email and the paper invitation, which I just showed here. So, and I'd like to thank the Department of Environmental Services for their work designing this for us. They actually do this for us and print it for us, so they're very kind. So they will receive that in paper in their inbox the week before. And then legislative staff members are invited too. So we never quite know how many people from the legislature are going to show up, but by the time we get the staff and the members, we have a good showing normally. So we will also provide you with some tools to help you out. So we'll email you this presentation, parking info, setup details. We also have a one-pager, I think it's actually 2 pages, but it's called Know Before You Go, and it has some great pointers and just how to communicate with your legislator and things that you can read over. And then on the day of, we'll have infographics from SC Commerce that will be updated with the latest information they have with the job studies and the economic impact information. And then if you're attending the early morning visit and have registered for that, we will be providing that help on site and have handouts for you on site for that early morning part too, if you need them. And then we also give you a list of places to have a meal if you choose to go out to lunch. The lunch is on your own. So we can kind of go here, do our thing, have a lunch, and then come to the program part. So we have a little break in between, and you should have plenty of time to go eat at one of Columbia's wonderful establishments. So your to-do list before you go. This is so important. Reach out to your legislator, and you can do this based on your business or your home address or both, and let them know that you'll be visiting. We really, really need to do this. This is the most important part of the preparations. Schedule an appointment with your legislator during that time frame that we're going to be there in the Statehouse lobby and that area, or you can schedule a meeting at a different day or time. It doesn't have to be during that time if that doesn't work for you. I encourage you to meet with them, ahead of the event, or at least have it on their radar for after the event. And then make sure to personally invite them to the reception at 5 o'clock. And I think, let them know there's going to be 50 or more recycling businesses and professionals there for them to meet with. And it will likely be a lot more than that, but I didn't want to overshoot it. So, mention that there will be a lot of people here for them to talk to. And I think that will be good, be a good motivator for them to come. So finding your legislator. So the website, again, for both of the email contact that you need for, when we're on the Statehouse, in the Statehouse lobby, and you're going to send them a message that you're in the lobby. Okay, this is the same website. It's scstatehouse.gov. And this is also the site where you find your legislator. So here's a little QR code that would take you to this website if you want to go and visit it right now. And you're going to go to the bottom of this page where the big red arrow is and enter the address of the district you would like to look up, whether that's your home or business or organization. So you simply enter it there. And don't worry, because I have this QR code on another page too if you didn't get to it in time. And this will pull up all of the representatives and senators, including the U.S. senators and representatives. But we're just interested in the state level. So that will be more towards the bottom, and it will show your district and the person who represents that district. And then if you click on those folks, you will be able to get this more detailed contact information. And it will have a link here, send a message to Senator Timmons, and you'll be able to click that, and it will actually kind of open an email form for you to send. So it's super easy. You'll want to again go for both your senator and your representative when you do this. So you're going to have to do a little bit of clicking to get back and forth to toggling to get to all the people that you want to talk to. All right, so what to say or email the legislator ahead of time. You simply say, I'm a constituent, or my company operates in your district. I'll be in Columbia on this day. I'd like to personally invite you, want to meet you. Let them know we have a program from 3 to 5 that they're more than welcome to come to. They're not going to come, but you can tell them that we have it, so just in case. And you can let them know that the lieutenant governor will be there as well, and that might get them in the door. I'd love for them to come and hear what we have to say, but we've got to let them know about it. And we can provide them the website about the event for more information. And then you just either say, I want to schedule a 10-minute meeting, or I want to I'll reach out to you when I get there, when I'll be in the Statehouse gallery, whichever is the situation. And once you are actually meeting them and you're with them, we have some talking points for you, kind of a script for you to help you, know kind of what to say and how to deal with it. Expecting 5 or 10 minutes or less on this again. So even if you meet in person in their office and go to their office, I would not expect longer than a 10-minute meeting. And that would be pushing it. So, just setting the proper expectation. Um, the important thing is to tell your story a little bit, you know, uh, state any issues that you want to talk about and want them to address. Tell them how important this is for your district and for the state, and how your business is an important job source. Invite them to your facility if you can. That would be amazing. It's incredible how many of these folks, don't know that there is a recycling business in their district and would like to know and would like to visit it and see how it works. They have a great deal of time out of session every year, and so they may be able to come, schedule a visit while they're not in session. And I think that's a great goal for you to try. Um, and then, of course, you want to thank them for their time. Some key points are listed here. We want to make sure that it's relevant for the day, what we're talking about. So, you want to talk about how recycling is real and working in South Carolina. Use those economic impact study numbers so they know that it's backed up by data. We want to dispel any myths. We want to be simple and focused. Um, Legislators really know about the same as the average citizen that you come across, your neighbor, your friend, your family members that are not in the industry. So if run up to a legislator and start talking about EPR, they're going to be like, what? So we want to meet them where they're at and recognize that they may not be as familiar with some of the things that people might talk about, um, uh, as you might hope or assume. So really be sincere and try to be a resource for them. And if you do have, something in particular you need to communicate policy wise, by all means do that. And we always encourage you to follow up with a letter or an email as well, so they, keep that at the forefront of their minds. And speaking of bills and laws, we don't really have any bills that we are trying to push right now. There is currently work being done on this tire recycling legislation still, and we will provide some information on that as well. That's more detailed than what you see here, closer to the event. And then the last year, this is kind of an update. The recycling incentives, House Bill 4087, actually passed with, I think, some minor amendments. So I've included the link to that here, but that passed in July 2024. So we had been talking about that last year, and I just wanted to update y'all that it did pass. So, that's something you could talk about as well. Thank you for, supporting that bill. These are the people that sponsored it. And if you go to this link here, it shows you who voted for it. How can you tell who is who is what I do is, if I don't recognize their face, they will have a pin on their lapel that looks kind of like this pin shown here. And it should be round like that, and have South Carolina or a seal on it or that kind of thing. I've never actually gotten really close enough to see exactly what's on it, because I feel like that might be awkward for me to do that. But you can definitely tell by the shape and general fanciness of the pins that's theirs. And of course, we are going to provide name tags, and they normally have been really good about wearing our name tags. So hopefully they will have that, so you'll be able to see their name. We'll have a few folks there even at the reception that will be kind of walking around trying to help make introductions. So they if you say, hey, I'm looking for Senator Hyatt, or Representative Hyatt, we'll have a few folks be able to try to find those folks for you during the reception. And parking, this is parking information. So the Lady Street Garage or the Park Street Garage. Lady Street, I believe, is the best. So we normally don't have any issues with folks parking there. Um, and then there is temporary parking at Palmetto Club for vendors, but that's it. So you won't be able to park there otherwise at the Palmetto Club. And we will send out parking info and a map to everybody. This is the building you'll be looking for. There's multiple buildings on the complex, so this is the Capitol. So this is where we're gonna go. So I just wanted to let you have a visual of that. The dress code is formal business, and of course, also at the Statehouse is formal business. And a note on refreshments, we have an open bar. Please drink responsibly. Um, Sponsor information: if you're Palmetto partner or Grand Strand giver, you will be able to set up from 12 to 2. So you can unload behind the club and kind of bring your things inside and then move the car. And then you can come back and set up your tables. And we'll be around the edge of the ballroom with our tables. So it's a nice, lovely, large, well lit room. And it's going to be really nice. I'm telling you guys to try to bring at least 100 items to give away between attendees and legislators that may want to take a few things. I think that's a safe number to shoot for with your giveaways, and that's for for the sponsors and the tablers. Um, Legislators like to walk around the room and talk to everybody, so plan to stay kind of around your table for that. Don't wander off too far. And for the Santee supporters and Crescent contributors, you'll be able to bring your brochures and things, brochures, business cards, or flyer type materials, and that will all be on a shared table with all of those together. So bring your own holders and display holders or brochure holders or that sort of thing, and label them with your name so they don't walk away, please. And I have a shameless plug for you also for the CRA conference, which is in March. And so we would love to see you there as well. So be sure to check this out and um, look at what we're offering. Our program is outstanding, and so many great networking opportunities here as well. And here's my contact information if you need it. And I think that about covers everything. So I'm going to go to the Q&A. Yes, Jason, this is on February 5th. Okay, yep. You can see that was answered. Thank you, Sarah. Does anybody else have any questions? Wow, I did that in under 30 minutes. I'm really proud of myself. Anybody else have any questions? Anybody have comments or concerns? Jason, I see your hand up. Can you put the question possibly in the chat?
Sorry, I was just going to ask it. I wasn't able to unmute myself, but as far as you wanted registration for the recycling day, when I go on the site and log in and everything, being a member, uh, it doesn't give me the option to register myself. It says either register guest or the button to register myself using my own profile without making a duplicate uh, doesn't appear to be there. I don't know if I'm doing it wrong.
Okay, I'll have Jen reach out to you about that. I'm not sure. I think you might already be registered. If you look at your email for a registration confirmation, see if you have that. But but Jen will look into that and make sure. Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
If you're on this call, you are registered.
Okay. I thought as much, but I just I didn't see it in my thing when it says to check your registrations. It wasn't listed. So all right.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. Thank you guys. Madison, thank you so much. Kara, thank you. Let's see. Trouty asks, will this be available on the CRA website to view later? So, Trouty, we do put the webinar information on the website after the fact as a link. This particular webinar, and we'll also send it out, via email. Okay. All right. Well, I don't see any more questions unless I missed any. You can
The
always.
last one for me, sorry, was that the registration says it's at 2:30, and then those first slides said at 9 to 10. Was that an optional portion,
Yes,
or is
so
that a
that
separate
the
thing?
earlier time period is optional, and we had put on registration, that we would be planning facilitated visits earlier in the day, and then as we started doing that, the opportunity to go into the gallery came up kind of late. So that part is optional, and but yes, more publicized part is the two to the program starting at 3. But yes, we did add that later on in the game, the gallery visits.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. I don't know if you guys remember on registration where it asked, do you want to have a facilitated visit earlier in the day? And then it said, we'll get back to you on the timing because we weren't sure what the timing would be. Again, their schedule is very unpredictable. So that's kind of why it couldn't be determined that far back when we opened registration. Does anybody else have any other thoughts or questions before we go? Seeing none, I will let you guys go. It's going to be a really fun, great event. Pray to the weather gods, please, that we have good weather, and otherwise, can't wait to see y'all in a couple of weeks. And thank you so much for joining. Bye bye, everybody.